knives are Japanese water stones. That's what these are. And they come in a variety of grits. This is an 800. This is a 1200. And this real fine looking one is 6000. And that'll give that razor sharp edge that you're looking for. So you don't have to work so hard when you're carving, cutting, doing your regular chores in the mountains. First thing we need to do is just soak them in water. And they only need to soak in there for 5-10 minutes. You don't really need to use oil or anything like that, just soaking them. That's all you really need to do. And the 6000 also has something that comes with it that has a really funny name. It has a Nagura stone. And that's just to actually make a slurry that actually uses to really shine up the edge and make it like a mirror finish. The other thing you're going to need is a clamp. You can get by without this if you just have a rag, and you can just set the stone on the rag. I prefer the clamp. I think it holds it a little sturdier, but some people don't want to spend the money. Some people don't like it, but what I would recommend. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start off with the 800. We're just going to stick it in here, tighten these up, and now it's good and tight. And we need to keep the stone moist, so you can just dip your fingers in here, keep it wet. You don't have to use a spray bottle. You can if you want, but I think just using your hand works just as well. It's one less thing you have to worry about buying or getting or whatever. And then I just usually keep a rag on hand just to mop up whatever water. Just keep it wet, and you're ready to start. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the knife and just lay it flat on the stone. And what we're looking for is the edge bevel, which is right here along the edge. And we're just going to tip the knife up until we hit that edge bevel. You can kind of feel where it is. And for this particular knife, it's around between 17 and 20 degrees. And what we're going to do is we're just going to try to slice. Basically what we're going to try to do is slice off the top of the stone with the knife. Pressure downwards, push away from you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flip the knife over. Might need to moisten it up. Flip the knife over, lay it flat, edge bevel. 8. Now, depends on what kind of shape your knife is in. You might need to go over it again. My knife has been worked very hard, so I'm going to actually do that a couple more times. And then the last thing we do before we switch stones, which I'll go ahead and show you, is we will do 8 alternating strokes. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're keeping that edge right perfectly in the center. And now we can switch to the next stone. Just move up to your 1200. Just do the same thing again. 8 on one side, 8 on the other, and 8 alternating. The way you can tell whether or not you're ready to move up in stone is if you can look at the edge of your knife in the light and not see any little specks of light reflecting off of the edge. You got rid of all the nicks. You can kind of feel it, and if it's starting to kind of feel sharp, there's no burrs, you don't see any large chunks missing, you're ready to move up. Just remember to keep the stone moist. So we're going to do 1, 1, 7, 8. Now 8 alternating. 1, 7, 8. I can really start to feel that edge coming out. Now that when you're done with the 1200, move on to the 6000. Once you get the 6000 out, you're going to take your Nagura stone and just take it and rub it on the top of the stone. This does two things. It flattens out the stone so it's perfectly flat, and it also creates a slurry on the stone that's what you're actually using to sharpen your knife. 1, 8. 1, 7, 8, and then 8 alternating. 1, 8. If you want your knife to just have a little bit better of an edge, it's not quite perfect. It's not quite the point where you want so you can just, split a hair. This right here will get its shaving edge, but if you want it so it's just a little bit smoother, just a little bit better, there's a couple more steps we can do. These are the last 2 steps. These are what really bring the edge out, really have just a beautifully razor sharp edge that'll really last a long time. This is a strop, and all it is just a belt that's just tacked down with some nails into a piece of wood. Nothing to it. And that way I can kind of hold it up on an angle if I want to, if I want to move it around. It just makes it easier for me. And what this is a ceramic rod put in at a certain angle to just bring out that razor sharp edge. And there's also, these are the little bit coarser ones, and then there's some real fine ones. And if you use the strop first, and then use the ceramic rods, the coarse ones first, and then the super fine ones, you'll have just a beautifully sharp edge. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the strop. And what I usually do is you just lay the knife down, basically almost flat, and pull the knife towards you, putting pressure on the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I usually do about 50 times. And it's fast when you're doing it. 49, 50. I don't know if you can see how nice and shiny and mirror-like that edge is. And that is a razor sharp edge. I mean, right now I'd shave hair. But I'd still like to have it just a little bit better. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take my ceramic rod. And I'll do this head on so you can see a little bit better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the knife so it's vertical. Not this angle, but vertical. Set it here and just slide down this, once on each side. And then I'm going to do it a little bit different way. And I'm going to set here at the tip and push towards. And push towards. Not a lot of weight. I mean, basically just let the weight of the knife. And I usually do that about 8 times on each side. Now we're just going to take these ceramic rods out and set those aside. And this one's kind of cool. It actually has a little turn thing. And there's your other rods. We're just going to take those, stick them in. Same thing again. And that is a beautifully razor sharp edge. I'm barely even pressing and you can see the pile of hair. Razor sharp. This has been Gods Woodsman. Thank you for watching.
Please tell somebody about my videos. If you have suggestions for future videos that you'd like to watch, leave a comment. Have a wonderful day.